Hey, party people, what is going on?
Hi.
Yeah, we are recording on a little bit of a strange day. We normally record on Tuesdays, so today is a Wednesday, and it's kind of throwing us all out of whack, I feel like.
Yes.
But I have a quick question first before we do introductions, like we normally do, Paul. We are today is Valentine's Day.
It is. It is, yeah.
No, I'm not going to ask you to be my Valentine.
Good, I have one. You're too ugly.
And I wouldn't want you anyways, because fuck you, Paul, and I wouldn't do that. But does Valentine's Day have a theme song? Like we have Christmas music. There's a little bit of Halloween music. There's mascots for Christmas, for Halloween, for St. Patrick's Day. Do we have fucking Valentine's Day music or a mascot? I guess you could say Cupid, but that's stupid.
I don't think so, because I think with love it's more personal, you know.
Whatever it means to you.
Yeah, like Christmas. Christmas is more family centered, so you know there's songs that everyone can get into. St. Patrick's Day, you know, bar songs and shit like that. But with love, with like the day centered on like personal, you know, love, usually for one person to another person, you know, there's no universal songs because, you know, every love is personal, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why.
Anyways.
I don't know. Well, why? Have you heard of some that I'm not aware of?
No, that was just a random thought I was thinking yesterday. I was like, is there like such thing as Valentine's Day music? Because that'd be weird.
That would be weird. It'd be like, we're all in love. It's the day that...
Love.
It
Valentine's
doesn't really warrant
Day.
a song. Not in my opinion.
Not at all.
Because card... Like, you know, card companies, they kind of invented the holiday.
Hallmark
whereas Christmas
cards,
was more like a pagan thing.
Chocolate.
That, yeah, it's not really a songy, you know.
Capitalism. Happy Valentine's Day. With that, my name is Kyle
guess.
Springer.
My name is Paul.
And we are the Whatnauts.
You're goddamn right we are.
And you are listening to another exciting adventure of the Captain's Log. Each week,
exciting.
Yeah, very exciting. Each week, Paul and I get to sit down and catch up on what we've been doing this past week, and get into all sorts of mischief that we don't normally get into on our regular show.
Yeah.
So we are going to get into it. I know, for me at least, I'm going to be shouting out two podcasts that I listened to recently. Actually, maybe a couple more than two. I'm gonna up that to 4, but I'm gonna focus on 2 of them. And then that's gonna kind of lead into a question that I have.
Okay.
But I think this is the second week in a row that I forgot to ask what you have to bring to the table. So if you have 1 or 2 things, go ahead, take it away, Paul.
Sure. I finished watching the first season of Star Trek Discovery.
Yes, I heard that just ended recently.
Yeah. Now, I heaped a lot of praise onto the first few episodes when I was watching it.
You
they were
did,
pretty
yes.
amazing. It ended, I was like, what am I watching? Like, there was no build-up. I'm so negative these days. Like, everything I'm watching, I'm like, it's a disappointment. My standards are too high.
Did they go where no man has gone before?
Yeah, but not in a good way. Like, not in a, I don't know. It's listen, it's a big budget show. It's, you know, it's very relevant, you know, to 2018. Pushing all the right buttons, but I'm like, you could have pushed it just a little bit better. Just like, I don't know. It just ended really weird. Like, for instance, like Earth is in peril.
Interesting.
You know, like the bad guys positioning all their guns toward Earth, right?
Uh-huh.
You know, like, and when I say that, on paper, that sounds, you know, really cool. You're like, oh my god, Earth is in trouble. The Klingons are going to attack, blah, blah,
They're
blah.
about to blow
Who will
up the
save us?
planet.
Yeah. there's no build up. There was no like, you didn't feel the danger. You know, there was no high intense music. You didn't see the citizens on Earth. They didn't show any of that, and it resolves with like a conversation, and then it like skips to the next scene, and you're like, that was the big finale. Like Earth was in peril, and you just had a witty remark, and you won the bad guy over. Okay, and then they have literally just one shot where they show the alien ships from far away, just kind of like drifting literally off screen. And the Earth, and they zoom into the Earth, and then they show a scene on Earth. It's just no, but that song you're doing, you're building more tension right now than there was at the ending of the last episode. And I was like, oh, like there was no tension. I felt no fear for Planet Earth. I couldn't relate to any of the to most of the characters. So I was just kind of like, this is not a white fanboy. No, not at all. Like,
I don't equate Star Trek to the planet Earth, like, at all.
Sure.
So
which is kind of why, like, I didn't care.
Yeah, I'm not a big Star Trek fan. I haven't seen really anything, but even from what you're describing, it's like, wait, what? They're on Earth? Isn't the whole show called Discovery and like finding new planets and new races and literally discovering what's out there? Like, why are they on Earth?
Well, no. They're far away at another like sector of the galaxy, but they literally just show like a screenshot of Earth. Like Earth doesn't even move. It looks like a still image, basically. And they're like, the Klingons are gonna attack the Earth and they're gonna destroy it. That's it. And then they resolve it through a conversation, and then they skip back to that screenshot basically, and they show the alien ships that are going to destroy Mother Terra just drifting off screen. That was it. And then they threw in this like bisexual threesome into Star Trek,
as one
just
does.
Which they did not really. If they had that in the first 2 episodes, I'd be like, all right, cool. They're going a different way. Cool.
Sex sells. It's one of those things that hook. Like I've seen shows where the sex scenes are like within the first 2 episodes of the show, just to get you to like the characters. Be like, ooh, I've seen her naked, or I've seen his ass.
Yeah.
And
but
then the rest.
It's not like it wasn't like that at all. It wasn't even of the main characters. If it was, it'd be kind of cool. It wasn't. It was just like, they've never showed these types of scenes before, kind of, but not really. Then they like, okay, so I'll give you the rundown, because this is hilarious. You're gonna like it.
Okay.
The Klingons have basically taken over, the galaxy, or whoever's in the galaxy.
Yeah. Just one quick note before you continue, Paul. It sounds like you're about to get into a little bit of spoilers here. So for those of you listening out there who don't want spoilers for Star Trek Discovery, we've kind of already dived into them, but be warned.
Yeah. I'm warning you now. If you like this show and you get easily offended, then why are you even listening to us? But anyway, warning. Yeah.
We don't want the weaklings.
Yeah. So the Klingons have taken over the planet, or taken over the galaxy. They're killing humans left and right. They're literally eating humans. Like, they just eat humans. That's how they see them. Like, they conquer them. They feast on their flesh. Then they move on. Then one of the characters is even saying this. Yeah. So they're in the middle of war. The Star Trek, the USS Discovery, which is the name of their ship, goes to Kronos, which is the homeworld of the Klingons.
Okay.
Main bad guys. And they're like, let's go to the black market and like try to get more information. And I'm like, okay, you're humans. Like, all 3 of you are clearly humans. You're wearing human clothes. You are walking around. Yeah, and like, no one's shooting them or attacking them or like talking to them. Like, in fact, they like joke around with the other people. And there's human beings on that planet. And I'm like, you guys are on full scale. Why aren't you guys like eating them? Like, just, they're the bad guys.
Yeah,
like,
you guys are supposed to be undercover.
Yeah, there's none of that. They're just like, we're full on war, but let's just go mingle it in the marketplace. So they do that. And then one of the characters is like, she goes to this brothel, and she's like, I'll take you, and you're coming with me. And this is man and this woman, and the only thing they're wearing is like thongs. Like you can like, if you like paused it, you could see like butthole. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Like,
Good,
it's like
clean family
blatantly
fun.
there on the screen. And I'm just kind of like, kids love this show. Like kids are watching this show. Like listen, I'm not like a conservative Christian. I do weird shit. But even I was like, okay, this is weird. Like you do know kids watch this show, like little boys and girls, or everything in between.
Get them
whatever.
young, right?
Yeah. I know there's a lot of nerds watching this, with their wives and with their husbands, and it was just like thrown in their last episode, and I was like, it didn't move the story forward at all.
Yeah,
at all.
That's the thing about sex scenes is like, I don't mind them. They can be fun. They can be hot, but it's like, do you really need some of this stuff to tell your story? Like,
it
seriously?
didn't help at all. They just did it to
It's like
make a
Watchmen.
character seem badass, but it wasn't.
The first season, I think, of House of Cards, when they randomly have the threesome with the security guard, I was like, whoa, why? Where's the like,
threesomes
it made
are nice.
No sense.
You're entitled to them, but it's just kind of like it didn't move the story along. It really didn't. It was just to say, look how badass his character is, but it just made her seem, corny
She's edgy.
or cliche, and it just wasn't. And it'd be edgier if she was smoking. Like that'd be pretty edgy. Like, holy shit, there's smoking on Star Trek. But that wasn't the case, and it just ends like that. And it's a confrontation between that character and the other character, and they talk. They talk it out. They talk over the point of the Earth, and then it gets resolved. And there's a stupid speech afterwards, and that's it. And then they meet other people.
That sounds a little bit more like Star Trek to me.
Exactly. Yeah. And I was like, no, like, sell me the story, but they didn't, and so I was a little bit disappointed. But whatever.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how disappointed are you in this season finale?
I'll give it like an 8.5. I don't want to give it a 9. It's a good. It's a nice show.
It was so like 8.5 being good or being bad?
Oh! I thought you were saying 10 is like the worst. If I
didn't really specify, but I assumed 10 is the best. But
yeah, if I had to grade it, I'd give it like, from 1 to 10, I'd give it overall 8.5. 8.
Okay.
I think I'm being generous a little, but
so it's still
they had some really good episodes.
Still worth checking out. But
yeah. It's just
ending.
The finale. I was like, what happened? And I think part of it was that Brian Fuller was fired.
Okay.
Do you know who Brian Fuller is?
It sounds really familiar. What else has he done?
He's like a juggernaut. He created Hannibal.
Okay.
I think he did Pushing Daisies.
Yeah, because I know I've heard his name.
Yeah, he got fired
times.
from like 3 different jobs all at once.
Damn.
Apparently he's a dickhole. I don't know. But like he got fired from 3 different jobs, all for creative differences and like internal arguing. And so like I think around the time he fell off, the show fell off, because like the show is going incredibly well. I was like, this is fantastic. And then it turned into it. Then the quality of the show, it felt like I was watching like, like a CBS
knockoff.
show. No, not CBS. The company that made Smallville.
CW.
It felt like a CW show. Like that's where the quality went, and I was like, ugh. Like it was such a sharp turn.
Okay.
And I know that Brian Fuller, and so like I think ever since he fell off and someone else took over, like it might be that, or maybe they just got lazy. But I don't know. Like it was just so good and then turned so bad. So yeah, I think when you fire talent, you're gonna suffer, and so at least let him stay on for the end of the season.
Yeah, that's a tough position to be in, right?
Yeah. Because you've heard of Hannibal, right? You've heard of how groundbreaking that show was, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like you take that, and it's like then the next episode is CW, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking of it more in terms of like, if it was only creative differences why they did it, I'm pretty sure it was more like higher up studio was like, oh, we need to be more edgy, we need to have more sex and stuff like that. Whereas he's just like, no, fuck that.
Maybe.
But if it was that
Yeah.
he's an asshole, or he did something behind the scenes that he shouldn't have, then it's like, okay, fire the guy, like.
Yeah.
But if it's the creative different, like that's so strange. On one hand, it's really strange to me because you hire them in the first place for their creative mind and the direction they want to take it in.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I can see like, hey, at least let them finish out the season that way, and then be like, hey, we'll let you finish out this season, but we won't stick with you for season 2, and we're gonna be going in this direction. Can you set that up?
Yeah.
And at least have that kind of compromise.
It was something like I hope I'm getting the timeline right because I know we got fired from it, and I know that the quality started just terrible
to dip.
Even the camera just felt different, and
that sucks.
Yeah. And he also got fired from American Gods. So he was working on Star Trek Discovery, American Gods, and like another show.
I've heard American Gods was fantastic too.
Yeah, but then I heard it was like dropping off, and he also got fired from that. And the reason why they fired him is because he wanted like they were already giving him like a royal sum, and he was like, we need more money to finish these scenes.
Yeah.
To match
sucks,
our
though,
vision, and they were like, fuck off. So
especially with I think it's American Gods was on Stars, which is a more premium channel. Which like as much as I wanted to watch that show, there's no way in hell I'm paying for Stars. Like,
yeah, fuck
sorry,
that.
Stars,
just get
but
it off somewhere.
yeah, fuck that. I'll wait till it comes out and I can buy it like as a whole, just that one show.
Yeah, and it's really weird because Brian Fuller, he was kind of the darling of the internet, or like of like Tumblr and Twitter. He would like talk directly to his fans, like give them a lot of like fan service. Like, oh my god, is this character gay? And he'd be like, of course he is, or fun stuff like that. But then like it turned because he got fired all of a sudden, and so it created this weird controversy, and he became like a meme. So, yeah, it's weird. It's weird how one person can affect so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of been my week, content wise. But yeah.
You
Hope I
also
wasn't too rambly.
No, you're good. I do want to ask really fast about Carnival, because we postponed the show from yesterday to today. From one holiday to the next. But you said you had plans for Carnival. And that is something that we don't really celebrate here in America. So what is Carnival and what did you do?
Carnival, it's a thing that Portugal and Brazil share. Like we've all heard of Brazilians,
right?
Celebrating Carnival. They do it once a year. Brazilians go incredibly insane.
Do the like Jamaican islands and all of them celebrate it too?
I'm not sure. I don't know if it stretches that far. I'm sure they have something like it, but it's basically a time where imagine you take Halloween, but subtract the candy, but add in cocaine, and that's Carnival. Like everyone's wearing costumes, like everyone, even parents. Like
similar to Mardi Gras, just a giant party.
Yeah, kind of like that. Just like an excuse to dress slutty or like a Marvel character. You throw there's confetti everywhere for days.
Mardi Gras.
Yeah. Like no one's getting super drunk. I mean, people are getting drunk all the time, but like it's just like parades and insanity and
that's cool,
dude. I was so stoned and baked, and it's just like there's just gigantic like going past my face. I'm just like, this is the exact perfect time to get stoned. So it's just a good time. Just
cool,
really fun. Sarah and I took a lot of pictures and videos. I posted it on Facebook. It's really fun. But yeah, it just brings the whole community together. And yeah, it was just like, sweet. I need to do this. I love recording Captain's Log, but I need to, see all this shit. So it was fun. And it was by the beach as well. So I gotta just look at the beach for a while.
There you go.
Yeah. What about
That
you?
sounds awesome.
It's a good time.
My
It's a good
week,
time.
my week was actually boring as hell.
Okay.
So usually I have like, oh, I read these comics and I played this video game and I watched this Netflix show.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have as much stuff to come here and talk about today. Except as I mentioned at the start of the show, I have 2 podcasts that I want to shout out. And then like on the spot, I was like, wait, you know what? I could actually talk about 2 other podcasts as well. So in one sense, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. I mentioned on Twitter a couple of days ago, I was like, man, today is a momentous day. I think it's the first time in like the past year that I've been 100% caught up on all the podcasts that I listen to and all the YouTube videos that I watch. Like, I'm usually so behind. And just for the past like 3 or 4 months, I've been like nonstop, constantly listening to them back to back and sped up just to like catch up on all of this stuff. And I finally caught up, so that feels fantastic. So the 2 that I really want to mention super fast are 2 audio dramas. I caught up on the Bright Sessions. God damn it is so good.
Really?
Lauren Shippen knows how to fucking write characters. It is so good. And yeah, like I'm excited to see where that show goes. If you've not been following them, well, if you don't know what the Bright Sessions is, I highly recommend it. It's a podcast that is an audio drama that centers around therapy sessions for people with superpowers, and this story kind of builds and stuff like that. But it's a drama, and it's really all about the characters, and it's fantastic. But if you've been following the Bright Sessions or its creator Lauren Shippen on Twitter, they've had some exciting announcements. At one point, I don't know where it is, but it's been optioned for like a television show. Lauren is also working on 3 like young adult novels based off of the show, like focusing on certain characters.
Nice.
So like it's doing really, really well. And yeah, I caught up, and they just had this super, super tense moment, and it's this super intimate but really honest moment that's also kind of this heated like argument, and god damn, it is written so well. Like,
it's good.
Just like
at least you're finding
really
closure in the
it.
content you look at.
Yeah. So it that was really good. I also, except for the episodes that came out today, I caught up on Ars Paradoxica as well. And I really, really love Ars Paradoxica. I'm a little bit lost, though. It's been a while since I had listened to it, and I feel like this is a show that I'm really going to have to go back to episode 1 and binge the entire thing.
Okay.
I mean, it's time travel, and it's not super duper complex of like, all of this stuff. I think they do a good job of kind of avoiding that, the like typical time travel stuff that makes it confusing. But it's one of those things that I hadn't listened to it in so long that I kind of forgot what was happening and who's who and what's what.
Yeah.
So listen to those 2. The bad news about both of those shows is they are on their final seasons.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So the Bright Sessions, the podcast, will be ending very soon. They're wrapping things up now, but like I said, it's being optioned for a TV show, and there's novels. She's not done with that story and with those characters. And Ars Paradoxica, however, is looking like it's like they're wrapping stuff up right now.
Yeah.
Which stinks because it's a really good show, but I'm glad that they are getting to tell the story that they wanted to, right? Like they don't have some big company like bearing down their throat. You know, been like, oh, you have to do this. You have to change the ending. Like they are ending it the way that they want to, which is neat, which is good. But yeah, but now I have two other podcasts that I really want to shout out, and they have both only released their first episodes, and I listened to them last night and this morning, and I really liked both of them, and it's gonna lead me into a question that I want to talk with you about here, Paul. The first one is a podcast called Weird Heat.
Okay.
And it's, in one sense, very similar to kind of what we do here on the Captain's Log, where we can just kind of shoot the shit and take it wherever we want to.
Yeah.
But it's literally their kind of box that they can put all things creative inside. So they're making artwork, like it's each episode is going to have some kind of theme or topic, and they might be talking about it and sharing personal stories and stuff like that, but they're also going to be like creating music based off of that theme.
Okay.
or artwork, and stuff like that, and just what the it's hard to explain, right? Like it's not like we're a weekly book club and we read comics each week, you know?
Yeah.
It's this really kind of amorphous show where it can kind of be anything they want it to be.
Yeah. Which I'm all for.
And they had their first episode on optimism and kind of what the pros and cons are and all this stuff, and it was actually really damn good.
Yeah. I like it. I like it when there's no form; it's just freestyle, and you can just do whatever. I love that shit.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always like, Kyle, fuck coloring inside the lines. Fuck the lines. What are lines? Just go. Like, you know.
Exactly. And one more detail about that in just a sec. But the other podcast was called Red Lips, Orange Car.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a strange name, but they got the name from kind of what the show is about. What they do is there's three hosts. Two of them are like they'll be there all the time, and then the third one is a rotating chair. So they'll bring different people in and stuff like that. But what they do is they go onto Craigslist and they find missed connections, and they like give life advice based off the missed connections, or they make fun of it, or they make up stories like based off of them. And it was only like half an hour, and they shared 3 missed connections, and it was really funny. And it was just like, it's such a weird idea, but it's so good. It worked out really well.
There's, I think, just like painting or drawing, there's limitless styles and different colors you can use to, show what the fuck's going on. Like, I that's why with podcasting, it's, it's still new. It's like the expression. It's like expressionism. It's like, it was new. It was, fresh, and So, there's already different genres. I love it when people just, they're like, fuck it, let's just do whatever we want. Like who the fuck cares who's watching?
Yeah.
Let's just do us, and eventually there'll be people who like us, and so I love that. Yeah, that's great.
Exactly. And so, Paul, I think you would really like Weird Heat. At least. Go
I
look them
name
up on YouTube. It's really cool. What's neat, though, is that both of these shows, the hosts of these shows all work at IGN. So they're
Okay.
all hosts on like Podcast Beyond and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But this is them kind of doing their own thing, not associated with IGN. And so for me personally, and I know you like this as well, Paul, like when you can really get to know who these hosts are and stuff, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So it's like, it's one of those things where I can see them and enjoy their content, you know, when they're at their work setting and they're being professional and doing what they're paid to do. But then when they're just at home, like making their own podcast about whatever the fuck they want,
Yeah.
like it's that much more intimate, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've been saying this for years, man. Just like
Yeah.
it's so good when they're just like, today I made a pie, and you're like, okay, tell me about that, and you're like, well,
Exactly.
you know, I love that shit. I love that it has nothing to do with anything. It's just, it's so intimate. I love it. Like Bill Burr, he has the Monday morning podcast. He also has the Thursday just before Friday Monday morning podcast. He basically has two, and he's just like, you know, like congratulations to the fucking Eagles, you know, for winning. They had it coming. That's great. Like, and he's just like talking. This I was listening to a podcast today with him and his wife Nia, and you know they're sponsored by MeUndies, and they sent him this underwear that has like tacos and hot sauce. And he's like, try it on. So his wife like takes off her underwear, puts that on. He's like, you look great. Like, and
There
like
you go.
I prefer that much more than like a polished. So today at NPR, we're gonna look at the music of Jorge Falanglia. You know what I mean? Like, fuck that shit. It's
He's
just,
a very accomplished musician.
I listened to Your Mom's House, that podcast. It's called Your Mom's House with Tom Segura and Christina Pajitsky. It's just so silly. Like, they have a competition where people try to guess the weight of Christina's breasts. And so they're like, you should, and they're talking about the different techniques to how to best accurately weigh a woman's breast. Some people are like, you know, stand on a scale, have your husband lift up your breasts. They're like, get a meat scale at a butcher shop. You know, they have this thing where, you know, they fat shame, but they fat shame themselves so they lose weight. You know, there's all this Hitler talk, but it's not offensive. It's just amazing. They're obsessed with farts and poop and shit jokes and old people jokes, and they have this recurring theme: would you date your mom? Would you date your dad? Like, would you rather? It's just utter silliness, and
That's cool.
fantastic. And like, it's just like I'm
ahead.
learning how to be more expressive from these podcasts. You know?
Yeah, that's one thing that I've always tried to do with our shows is like take in a whole bunch of different podcasts, see what they do really well, and try and kind of take bits and pieces from each one. Be like, ooh, these guys do something like this. How can we take that and make it our own? Right?
Yeah. For me, I respect that viewpoint, and you know, it's a good viewpoint. For me though, it's more just like, how can I be as most me as possible?
True. Yeah.
You know, how can I be honest and you know, and vulnerable, and you know, I want there to be podcasts where I cry, where I'm like, or like I pushed a donkey onto the ground and I ran away. Like, I just want, you know, not that I condone animal abuse in any form. Unless it's goats.
I mean, someone's got to talk about it.
Fuck goats. Goats need to be fucked. Now we're gonna get emails from the goat community.
Yeah, from farmersonly.com.
Yeah. But just the most. But like, you know, for instance, like Your Mom's House. It's not just a podcast. It's like a lifestyle. Like they refer to each other as mommies and mom jeans. They call each other jeans. It's a lifestyle, and the more and more I listen to podcasts, the more I realize that the more honest and open that the hosts are, and the less they listen to outside sources, the more successful. It's just always the case.
Yeah, because
like Joe Rogan doesn't give a fuck, Bill Burr doesn't give a fuck, the mommies don't give a fuck.
Exactly,
Mark Maron doesn't give a fuck.
Even with what I said, where I was like, they do this thing really well. How can we take that and make it our own?
Yeah.
There's a certain point, where it's like you kind of lose yourself and you're not being who you are. So you make a fantastic point where it's just like, how how can we be ourselves 100%?
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
and not worry about anyone else. Because like
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
start asking people who make comic books like, what comics they're rating, they'll be like, dude, I don't have time. Like
Yeah.
fuck that. Like I'm making comics.
I'm doing me.
I don't. Yeah,
You know?
I'm doing me, and so that's always really neat. But I have a question. This is actually not the one I was going to ask. But when like what attracts you besides the obvious? This host is being themselves, and they don't give a fuck. You know, they can just do whatever they want.
Yeah,
what
yeah.
what attracts you to a podcast? Is it the content? Is it the host? Is it like the segments that they do? What about what attracts you to keep listening to a podcast?
Yeah. I think vulnerability. I love just when the host is vulnerable. Because if they're vulnerable, then the content that comes out of their mouth is going to be great. Like, I love Joe Rogan because I love Joe Rogan and the JRE podcast. It's fantastic. I listen to it every day for hours. Like, hours. Like 6 hours sometimes a day. 7 hours. And I love it. He has amazing guests. I'll give you that. His guests are like, you know, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Brian Cox. Yeah. Neil deGrasse Tyson's been there.
Everyone though.
Neil deGrasse
Like-
Tyson's been there like 3 times already.
Yeah.
You know, he's got like Eddie Bravo. He's got MMA fighters. He's got.
Is he the next Howard Stern?
No. He's way bigger than Howard Stern. His numbers. They actually figured it out. He's bigger than CNN. He gets more numbers
Nowadays,
than CNN.
I can. Yeah. Like I can see that being the case nowadays, and with the technology that we have. But like Howard Stern in his heyday, I'm pretty sure he's still making stuff though. But
Howard Stern is still big, but Joe Rogan, it's he's just the right guy at the right time.
Relevant
I think
today. Howard Stern is at least for me in my generation, right?
Not at all.
Like,
not at all.
I don't really give a fuck about Howard Stern, but Joe Rogan, like, I know more about him.
Yeah. With Joe Rogan, though, it's like
care more about
he has incredible guests, but that's not why I listen to him. I listen to him because he says lines like this. He's like, I'm really scared of joints that have tobacco in it. And they're like, why? And it's like, it's because it tastes so good. And I get really scared of it. I'm almost 50, and I get scared because I might get addicted. And this guest is like, like cigarettes are scary. Like I don't even fuck with them. You know? And I like hearing that. I like hearing someone who's established and, you know, has fuck you money. I love hearing someone that high up have the same feelings that I do. Of like, I'm terrified of cigarettes. I'm terrified. You know, I like hearing that. I like hearing this monolith be like, yeah, I'm still a person.
Here's what I'm scared of. Here's my insecurities.
Yeah. That's why I try to talk about my fears a lot. And just be like, you know, like I feel stupid today, or, you know, because everyone feels that way, you know. But yeah, that's why I like listening to it.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you?
Interesting. For me, I think oftentimes it's the host. I have to like the host. Whether it be, like you said, their vulnerability or their ability to be professional or funny or something like that. I've followed different hosts from like podcast to podcast. You know, sometimes they're on multiple ones, but they're like, hey, I'm, you know, leaving this show, but I'm gonna be starting this new thing, you know, here. And I'll start listening to that new thing, and it's still really good. But then the show that they used to be on dipped in quality, so I'm just like, you know, that's not as good. Maybe I'll stop listening to that one and stuff like that. So I find myself following certain hosts.
Yeah.
Just
exactly.
to do that, but like. That's a thing though. Like it's not only the vulnerability though, because there are some people who are just like natural at like how to lead a discussion, and they can do it so fucking well, and they know how to moderate and, you know, be like, okay, well, what did you think over here and stuff like that, and they know how to work the show and work the audience, and it's entertaining, you know?
I love it when there's someone who's really competent, you know? Not even if they're an expert, but they're like, this is my fucking opinion, bitch, and you will listen, and I'll give you excellent points and reasons why. I made a chart. Here, yeah. Like, I understand what you say when you're like, that is great to emulate. Let's do that on our show. It's like, that's what I like. When someone is like, I'm so on point. I'm so woke. You're here, like, I'm in the future, bitch.
You always
like, I
make
love
me
people
laugh
like that.
when you say the word woke. It's really
Yeah,
funny.
I mean it in a sarcastic way, but it's just like, I love, like, Colin Moriarty, previously of Kind of Funny, now of
Colin's Last Stand.
Colin's Last Stand. It's just like, oh man, when he's on a subject that he's passionate about, I'm like, take me, daddy, take me hard, like, put it in my butt. I don't give a fuck, just put it in my butt. You know?
Yeah.
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 Oh, dude, can I talk about a show really fast?
Yeah, sure.
So me and Sarah, we just Netflix binge, and we just sit in bed all day, and we just eat way too many carbs, and we have sex. That's my life
great.
right now. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's the best. I wouldn't change a thing. There's a new show on Netflix. It's actually a reboot called Queer Eye. Queer
Yes.
Eye. Have you ever watched it?
I've never seen it, but I remember when the original was on.
Oh my god, it's so 2018. It's the most wholesome show. I love it. You turn gay if you're straight, if you're privileged and hetero, you're just like, queen, yes.
You
like
won't
at the end
be
of it.
by the end of this show.
Oh my god, it's so great. It's basically 5 of the most fabulous gay guys who ever existed. It's all centered in Atlanta, Georgia, this season.
Uh-huh.
And they just go around and basically find the worst people. You know what I mean? Just like lazy, no fashion sense. And they just like redo their whole life. And you're just like, yes, queen. Like, this is so nice. It's just like, and they're so flamboyant and crazy. And me and Sarah are just dying. And I'm like, Sarah, this is America. We should move. And she's like, yeah. Like, it's crazy. Like, you don't see it changing you, because I watched 3 episodes. And after the 3rd episode, I was like, maybe I should put on this shirt. This shirt better accentuates my figure. You just, you know, like, you don't expect it, but these fabulous, fabulous gods are just changing you. And it's so nice to watch. Like, you know, they show before and after. They do everything. They remodel your look, your house, your food, your culture. Oh my god, this is so great. There's this one time where there was this cop, and he was a Trump supporter. And one of the guys, he's God, I forget his name. I don't remember any of their names. But he's black. And they go inside his garage, and there's this Trump Pence, lawn.
He's a Trump supporter who's black?
No. He's white, and he's a cop, and he's a Trump supporter. And one of the Fab Five is black. Beautiful man,
triple threat,
intelligent, and you know he sees the Trump Pence flag, and he's like, oh no, so he grabs it and he flips it, and it's like, it's on the other side. And they all start laughing. And like they're looking through his closet, and you know, the next scene you see him walking toward the camera, and he's wearing a Make America Great Again hat.
Oh, yikes.
And he's like got this weird smile on, like, and you're just like, this is the amazing show. And like, they're in the car talking about all this stuff. It's beautiful. You're crying. I don't care if it's fake. It's amazing. But yeah, all I wanted to say is like, go watch Queer Eye. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
What about you?
Kind of getting back to the podcasting. The question I wanted to ask you is: have you ever seen some kind of creation or piece of media or content, and you were just like, "Fuck! I wish I had done that."
Oh, like previously. Like before that person?
At some time in your life where you had seen some idea and you're just like, why didn't I think of that? And it's something you could have done. It's a super, maybe it's simple, maybe it's not, but I feel like something like with the Weird Heat podcast, there's something that I've been wanting to do for us for a long time. I want to open up a store Or,
Sure.
we can do Whatnauts t-shirts and stuff like that. But I'll be really honest, I hate all of the, like, Teespring, Redbubble, whatever the fuck, where if we sell a t-shirt, we get, like, $1 off of it,
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
that doesn't get us shit. And so I've been hesitant to, like, put effort into that, knowing that there won't be much of a return, right?
Sure.
But, like, it's still something that I want to have us do, because you're an illustrator, I'm a graphic designer. Let's make fucking t-shirts, right?
I mean,
Like,
I'm already doing
let's
that,
make
sort of.
mugs and stuff like that. Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
yeah,
official
yeah.
like Whatnauts stuff, right?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to have
has
like a glazed mug that has our logo on it.
stuff like that. But then like they have stuff that doesn't even necessarily like have anything to do with their show. I mean, I guess their show is a lot more amorphous than kind of the umbrella that is the Whatnauts. But
Yeah.
like they put out a shirt this morning that was like or last week or something, when it was National Pizza Day, and they're like,
Yeah.
hey, we made a t-shirt all about pizza. Here's a t-shirt with 20 pizza slices
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
it. And it was just like that, like, Paul, why aren't we doing that? Like,
I mean,
fuck.
but I mean, you're not, but I am. I'll give an
Well,
example.
sure. I mean, you have that stuff on your own, but like for the podcast specifically, like why? As much as I don't like that we wouldn't be getting much out of it, what the fuck was I waiting for? Like why?
I mean,
why?
yeah.
haven't
I mean, Kyle, you can do whatever you
this?
want. Like, anyone listening, anyone who's listening, I don't care who you are, I don't care how old you are. You don't have to do anything, and you can do whatever you want, just as long as you're not hurting anyone. You can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Like, if you want to make t-shirts, go make t-shirts. I'm not stopping you.
Yeah, but like I'm not even talking in the sense that like you have free will, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
More so in the like you and I have this creative outlet of the Whatnauts and the Captain's Log. I have the ability to make music for this stuff. I'm not necessarily very good or trained in it. I can't read or write music, but I used to make beats and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was decent for someone who doesn't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah.
But like we could be putting out music. We could be
Sure.
putting out t-shirts.
Whatnauts
comics,
LP that comes with a t-shirt. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
nothing's
And
stopping you, man.
I've had the idea to do like a Whatnauts like EP, and it's all like extended versions of our songs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been on the back burner and stuff. But there's ideas like that t-shirt thing, which is a super simple one. But even just like the Red Lips Orange Car podcast, it's like they have such a simple idea. Let's take misconnections and just make fun of them. Let's build a comedy like section of our show, something like that, where each episode we take a misconnection and we give advice. Like, how funny would that be?
Yeah. That's what I try to do with my podcast. Yeah. I mean, I'm doing one with Sarah where it's just like, would you suck your dad's dick, to save the world?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the more and more I think about it, it's just when you look at someone successful, it's only because that person maybe several years ago was like, I need to do something now, so that when I reach a certain age, I'll have this. And so like, yeah, like it's scary how no one takes initiative these days because no one told them to.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know how talented you are, man, and I know you can do anything, like concerning, the visual language, and also with music. And I'm like, man, Kyle could be running shit, what's stopping him,
Yeah.
You can do anything. You're so intelligent. You're articulate. You're good with computers. Like, like you can do anything, man. Like don't let anything stop you. You know.
Well, thank you. But yeah, so I want to know if you've had a moment like that in your life where you saw something, some piece of art or some podcast or some comic book where you're just like, fuck, why didn't I think of that?
I mean, I have that moment like every day, and then I try to do something about it. Like for instance, like Sarah, and I have these moments a lot. Like Sarah, for like a month ago, whenever I started dating her, which was almost a year ago, she throughout our dating, she would show me or send me cute little comics that couples made about each other, and these are like massive. They have like 69,000 followers, stuff like that. But they're really simple drawings. It's just about the relationship, like a couple panels. And I was just like, that's how, and she would send it to me, not to even hint at anything. She just sent it to me because it was cute and they could relate, And so I was just kind of like, oh, that's amazing. And then I was like, wait. And one day I was just kind of like, wait, I'm a hell of a good artist. I'm in a relationship that's really cute and relatable. I've instant access to Instagram. You don't pay for it ever. I was like, why not? I was like, all you need is a camera or a scanner, which I have both. So I was like, fuck it, why not? And I started it. In 3 days, I got 150 followers.
Damn.
Yeah.
You mentioned it when you first started it, and I think it was like the day of or like the day after.
Yeah.
You said you got like 50 likes on your first post, which was neat. But see,
no,
you're up to
50 followers.
Like
150 followers on the first day.
Cool. Yeah, same point stands, but now you're up to like 150 and
a triple
stuff like that. Yeah.
That's in like a week.
Fantastic.
And I was just like, let's just try this. And so I sat down. I just drew a quick comic about Sarah. Didn't take that long, maybe an hour. Scanned it, photoshopped it, put it on Instagram. And then what I did was I made it, and then I went and started following everybody I knew on Instagram. Just everybody I knew.
Yeah.
And, and then I just waited. And then a day later, 50 followers. Next day after that, like 100. Next day after that. So I was just like, why not? I was like, why not me? I can do this. So for me, I do have that existential moment of like, why the fuck am I? But then I try to do something about it. Where I'm like, I'm just as good. I just have to decide to do this. And I did. And, so yeah. And then I'll make a Patreon once I get a decent amount of followers.
Start it now.
Yeah.
I will tell you right now, you need it now.
Yeah.
Don't wait on that thing.
But let's say I get like 1,000 people that give me €1 a month. That's 1,000.
Yeah.
Here you can get a house. You can get like a 1-2 bedroom apartment for like $200. It's like, dude, I'm good. Like I'm rolling.
Yeah.
Food is cheap
here.
But
that's the thing. Even though you don't have as many followers as you're like hoping for now, still having that option to get paid or have them support your work, that's what you need, like immediately. Like make it immediately when you get off of this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Trust me.
And so I have that. I have our 2 podcasts. I'm gonna meet tomorrow for a business meeting with my t-shirt guy. He actually bought the silk screen machine himself. So we're basically doing pure profit. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. So it's just kind of like, sorry. Go on.
I was going to say, in regards to t-shirts and stuff, it's kind of funny because you and I both have access to that stuff. Yeah. My roommate is a screen printer and owns her own screen printing business.
What on earth are you waiting for?
But then that's the thing, though, right? To get in order of t-shirts, especially if we make them ourselves, whether it's my roommate or your friend or whoever, like we have to have that money up front. Whereas if we go to like Teespring or Redbubble, we don't have to do anything but have the design.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
And we could make a lot more money off of t-shirts that we make on our own, and we ship them out and stuff like that.
Sure.
But then that's the thing. We have to put that money up front. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot harder to do.
Not really. Let's say a t-shirt costs €7 to produce, $7 to produce. Well, then you mark it up to, not because we're greedy, but, just business, maybe $25, 5 of that is for shipping. So you're making some money, you know.
Yeah,
But,
no, I'm,
so you
I'm
don't
not
need a lot
saying that,
up
but
front,
like,
you know.
but the thing is to buy like three T-shirts like to my roommate, that is not worth it at all.
Sure.
Like she's gonna be like, look, if you want to save money, if you want to make the most profit, you're gonna need to order at least 20 to make this work.
Yeah.
But that's $5 per shirt times 20, that's $100 plus her work time, her screen fee and stuff like that. So that's like us paying, I don't know, I'm spitting out a random number here, $150.
Sure. Yeah.
Up front. And then if no one buys them, then we're out $150, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And
so that's what I mean by it. It's a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, it's business, you know. But that's where you create the Instagram and you're like, hey, we got a new shirt out, blah blah blah. You just gotta create that. We still
have Whatnauts stickers.
Sure.
Yeah. So I mean, like, we've had stuff like that available. Like, we sell art prints of all the episode art that Paul makes for the Whatnauts. At our like, I think it's our like $5 Patreon tier. Like, you'll get an art print each month.
Sure.
Of that stuff.
Of your
like,
choosing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And
if you guys want to know, I just sent Kyle my Black Panther poster.
Yes.
And I made it viewable.
Just saw it, and it's sweet. Yeah.
Yeah. So it looks dope. It's Wakanda and all that shit. So like, it's pretty dope. So check it out.
Check it out. But yeah, it's like, I don't know, because there's.
If I were you,
so
man, I just make it a store. I just make a Whatnot store, and like, people can just go there whether they're Patreon or not, and be like, I want the mug. We're like, all right, just here's pay here.
Yeah, which is ultimately what we need to do. I need to suck it up and be like, all right, Kyle, you big dummy, just make a damn store. Make a Society 6 store, because they do all that stuff. If you want pillows,
make an Instagram.
You can have pillows.
And make an Instagram, take a picture of your mug, and Photoshop it, whatever you have to do, and be like, that's our mug. If you pay us this much, we'll send it to you.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. And then...
Yeah. I just want money. I want the money.
For me, it's not...
I want the money.
Yeah. Money's great. But, like, I also just like physically holding something that I made.
Oh, yeah. True.
Like...
Same here.
Like, more than, like, a Nike shoe, I'd rather have, like, a toy. Like, a really nice resin, ultra detailed. Like, that'd be great. Like,
I mean, if you made the shoe, you'd want to hold the shoe too.
Shoes nice, but I don't really wear shoes. I mean, I do, but I wear like brogues and like wingtips.
The fuck?
Yeah, I don't wear sneakers. I wear like brogues.
I don't know what the fuck brogues are.
They're a classic
Sounds like
type
a sandwich.
of shoe, you heathen. But yeah, man, it's just like, if you want to make money, you can do it. You just gotta, be creative. I sound like I'm a billionaire. I'm not. I'm really poor. But it's just
not
like...
Here we are discussing that when we have... we only have one patron on Patreon.
Who cares?
So thank you, Eric Mannix, for supporting us. You are amazing.
I don't get... Yeah, he's great. He's just like amazing, lovable dude.
Yeah.
I've never heard his voice, but I have. I
Dude,
have.
Go listen to their.
No, I have.
Podcast.
I was about to say. But yeah.
Out of the fridge.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Yeah, I have heard his
Go
voice.
check it out.
Yeah. But like, yeah, if whoever's listening, just, would you rather work for someone and just waste your time and then go home exhausted just to do the same thing again, or would you rather just figure out what you want to do, just go out and do it? And I know it's gonna be hard, and I know it's gonna suck, but it also sucks working that 9-to-5 job. And just go out there and make what you want to make.
You have to make the thing that you love your job, because then it's not really a job.
Yeah.
Like when Paul and I were coming up with the idea of the Whatnauts, Like we had a goal, we still have it. To make this podcast a listener-supported podcast, and for in the long run, for us to end up being paid
listener-supported life
from this stuff. Yeah, like in short, first and foremost, all the money you give us goes back into the shows that we make stuff like that. Yeah. But if we can at the end of the day take $1 home each, like we'll be fucking happy.
Very happy.
Like, dude, I make $1 off of this pod. Like, that'll be the day when we're like, Paul, we spun a profit.
I did.
You get 50 cents and I get 50 cents. It's gonna be great.
We did it. Yeah. Like I'll believe it when I buy a gram of weed and I'll be like, this is because of my voice. This is awesome.
Yeah.
Which I could do.
One day, man.
Saved up enough. But yeah, it's just whoever's listening, just go and do whatever you want to do. You only live once. That's what Drake taught us. And
YOLO.
Yeah.
What up?
You only live once. You're gonna die one day. You could die tomorrow. And you're gonna look back and be like, wow. When your life flashes before your eyes, when the bus tire crushes your larynx.
Drake only lives once.
Only Drake.
But
even Drake only lives once.
Sometimes you should aspire for more, Paul, like James Bond, who only lives twice.
Yeah. He started from the bottom, now he's there. and so just go and do whatever you want to do.
Only live twice.
That's James Bond.
You have no idea what I'm talking about, do you, Paul?
I do, weirdo. But like, yeah. If you want to cover yourself,
there's an old James Bond movie called "You Only Live Twice."
I know. Do you know? I know this is gonna sound weird, but you know what I want to start doing? I want to make a character called Cardboard Man, and I cover myself in cardboard like a mask, and I cover my hands with cardboard like gloves, and I have like a cloak. It's just called Cardboard Man.
Have you heard of the Nintendo Labo?
No.
Look it up, because that is basically what you're talking about.
Okay, but I mean, I'm gonna transform myself into a character where you can never see my face. It's covered in a cardboard mask. I just walk around Lisbon, and I just draw, and I just like sip coffee, and they'll just be like, "That's Cardboard Man," and I'll be like, "Yep."
Oh, you're a weirdo.
No, but Lisbon is full of those people. There's people that dress up as ghosts, and they just sit there, and people give them money. There's people that dress up as like. Paint themselves in black and white. They look like Charlie Chaplin. Sit there, people give money. Like Lisbon is like known for its crazy, weird performers. So I just want to like dress up in cardboard and just walk around and be like, "That's Cardboard Man." I'll be like, "Hi, do you have money?" I'm like, "Yeah, thank you." I'll just walk around. Hashtag Cardboard Man.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Paul is going to go on a life of vigilantism. In which his superhero name is Cardboard Man.
Yeah.
And if you ask me, it's a little flimsy, but
it's tough to chew.
Yeah.
Tastes like pizza. But yeah, I just want to like ride the subway, and I want people to look at me, but I won't feel any fear or shame because my face is covered, and they'll be like, "That's just Cardboard Man."
So to end the show, embarrassingly enough, my first job was at an Italian ice shop. It was at a Rita's Italian Ice shop in Northern Virginia.
Nice.
And they had, I guess it was a mascot, but they had like if you like driven down the street and you see like the Statue of Liberty like flipping a sign and stuff like that. Like some person in like a chicken costume, being like, "Come to Church's Chicken," blah blah blah. So we had a mascot like that, but it was a cup of Italian ice. It was basically a cylinder.
Nice.
That was it. And I one time had to go out and do that.
Wow.
Only once, and it was in middle of summer, and it was fucking hot out. So you're in that thing and just sweating up a storm because that thing is fucking insulation.
Yeah.
And it was actually a lot of fun. It's absolutely stupid, but you just goof off. You just start making fun of people, as they have their like windows rolled down and they're blasting music, and you start acting like them or dancing to it and stuff like that.
Yeah. No one knows it's you. You know?
Yeah, you can just fuck off and do whatever you want.
Yeah. And so I just want to ride the metro. I want to ride the train. I just want to shake people's hand. You know? I just want to like walk funny. You know? I want to like beg for money. And only
Please,
listeners.
sir, can I have some more?
Exactly. And people will be like, "This is so fucking weird. He's dressed in cardboard." Like, you know.
The Adventures of Cardboard Man.
I'll even write at Cardboard Man on the back of, I don't know. And yeah, only listeners of our show will know.
International news this week as Cardboard Man was assaulted in Lisbon, Portugal this weekend.
Lisbon? It's Lisbon, you ass.
Lisbon, I don't know what the fuck I said.
Yeah, that's not important.
You know what? I'm American. Okay, don't blame me. Blame our educational system because it fucking sucks.
Yes, I do. I did fine.
But yeah, so that's that. I think this. Let's see. What is happening this weekend? I'm seeing Black Panther on Thursday, which is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be exciting. Our episode on Black Panther, our Whatnauts episode on Black Panther will be out this weekend. Mm-hmm. However, Paul and I will be recording an episode of the Captain's Log, most likely. We might do something special and just make it its own separate thing. I'm not sure. We haven't really discussed it. But we will be recording a review of the Black Panther movie, and we'll be getting that out to you guys ASAP.
Yeah. You know what you could do?
When that happens.
We could just record it, Sunday, normal time? You could just release that
double?
I mean, the poster I sent you works for both. So
yeah. Well,
so it's like, it's up to you. You can do whatever you want.
If we end up seeing more similar movies together, why not just have like a review show that we put out every now and then?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it doesn't even need to be a consistent thing.
Oh
just,
shit!
Hey, we
Here
both
we go.
saw Black Panther.
Third podcast.
Yeah, but like a special one. It's like not a consistent one.
Sure, yeah.
If that makes sense.
No.
I'm
all for that.
Thing. But yeah, so that means we might do something like on Saturday or Sunday and record a review, and then on Tuesday will be Captain's Log episode 7 about God knows what.
You know what you could do?
Something else, you know.
We could record it. We could record the movie review on Sunday, and what you could do is on Twitter you could post the poster that I drew, and say, listen to us talk about the Black Panther movie, and then right underneath it say, also listen to us talk about the Black Panther comics. So it's both. So whoever wants to click on either can click on either, or both.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. So that way, we're current. Someone who's like, oh my god, I love Black Panther. I want to hear people talk about it. Oh my god, Kyle and Paul have a Black Panther review. Oh my god, thank Jesus. And it's actually the movie one, as well as the comic book one. So we could do that. It's such a big event. So
yeah. So that being said, go check out our episode on. My mind just blanked on Black Panther. This weekend should be up on Saturday, and we hope you guys enjoy that. It was a heated debate. It was an interesting one.
Yeah. You guys are gonna be like, he's so negative. I was not. Just being passionate.
It's interesting. I don't think we've had an episode where we were that heated about something.
That split.
Not even that, because we weren't split. Like, I had the same idea as you. You were just, like, that much more like, no, this is what I feel, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, that makes sense. Like, I feel the same way, but, maybe not as passionately.
I mean, I just love Black Panther. Like, he's just so cool to me. And I was like,
yeah,
I wanted something else, you motherfuckers.
Anyways, we won't spoil it too much, but go listen to that this Saturday. I think it will already be out by time this comes out for the public, but go check it out, and we hope you guys enjoy that. Let us know what you think of the movie, of the comics, whatever. Talk with us, hit us up on YouTube or give us a review on iTunes and stuff like that. However, you could be catching our shows live on twitch.tv/the Whatnauts. You can be talking with us in the live chat. So if you are catching this on YouTube or as a podcast, you're missing out, man. You're missing out with the full live experience. So go give us a follow on twitch.tv/the Whatnauts. We are trying to reach 50 followers. Right now we're at 8. We're still at 8. So if you guys can help us out,
bitch. I want 100. Not
yeah,
you.
we want
you're not the bitch.
More than that, but 50 is our first goal because there is some things that become available to us as we hit 50. So go follow us on all the places. Do all of the things. That being said, I think we will wrap it up here, though.
Yeah, I want to say one last thing. If you're listening to this
Go for it.
and you care about Kyle and I, if you listen to us every week and you're like, you know what, I might give them money or I might subscribe. Well, then you know what? You should do it. If you really care, if you can look in the mirror and call yourself a person, a decent person, and you're listening to this and you're like, you know what? Do it. What are you waiting for? You can do whatever you want, okay? And one of those
Become a crew
things,
member of the Whatnauts.
and one of those things is joining the fucking Whatnauts as we explore the fucking galaxy. Don't you want to join? Or do you want to be like that guy in that Black Mirror episode?
Yeah, you do.
Come on.
Yeah, you do.
Join the crew of the Whatnauts.
You can go to patreon.com/the Whatnauts and throw us a buck if you like the show, if we make you laugh or make you smile, something like that. But if not, that's also okay. Just have fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy the show.
But also know that I'll hate you forever and that I will send ghosts after you if you don't.
we will come back and haunt you.
Yes. I feel like, where's my dollar,
just
bitch?
Know that. That being said, my name is Kyle Springer.
Paul Gang.
And we are the Whatnauts.
You're goddamn right we are.
Adios, guys.
Bye.